Hi, today I'm going to be showing you how I put together these Chainsaw Man boots in Blender. This is my Chainsaw Man shoe. I have these eyepieces here to cut out shapes in the mask in Blender. This is not something that I wanted to deal with in Gravity Sketch, so I'll be booleaning those when I export this. So first I'm going to show you how to deal with an export. When your shoe or your sculpt or whatever is ready to go, click on the menu button, click on the floppy disk save button, and then you're going to slide this slider at the bottom of the menu from save on local to save on cloud. What this is going to do is transfer the file over to landing pad to your profile, where you can then download it to your PC. So next we'll click export, and then click OBJ, inches, meters, centimeters, whatever you feel suits you best, and then just click the check. Save here, import the name, and then you're ready to go. And once your headset is ready, after loading up the file, you'll see a progress bar. Just wait for that to finish, and done. Now the object should be over on landing pads. Landing Pad is a website made by Gravity Sketch. It's used for exporting OBJs onto your computer or uploading reference sketches, images, all types of stuff. What you'll want to do is go to your Cloud Exports tab on the left side and then find the name of your file and click Download. Wait for that to open up, and then you'll go into that folder and drag the OBJ file over to your desktop so that you'll be able to import it into Blender. So first step in Blender is to go down to Import and go to Wavefront OBJ. We're going to find our object on the desktop and import it into our scene. As you'll notice, I've deleted everything out of the scene, the basic camera, light, cube. I just don't need any of them. I'm going to be importing all my own stuff as I get working. Dead air, dead air, dead air. And now our shape is here. And first thing that I do when I start out try to edit is I orient everything. So I'm going to go up to item, select my shape so it's active, and then turn the 90-degree on the X angle to 0 so that my shoe can stand up straight. And let's get a look at this baby. Beautiful. Love how she's looking. So what I do, because everything that comes into Blender imports as one full shape, you're going to want to go to edit mode, select everything, go to mesh, separate, and separate by material. What this is going to do is separate every shape on the form to its own group of localized colors. So let's say I made all of the back heel red, made all the spikes on the chainsaw blade green, made all the wire parts purple. It's going to separate everything by the colors that you selected within Gravity Sketch. So make sure that you figure all that out before exporting. And now, with it done, we'll go back into object mode so that I can start booleaning the holes in the mask and shade flat, or choosing shade flat on objects that need it. So now I will click on the Chainsaw Man helmet to figure out the name in the list of my objects, because everything's separated now. And then I'll click on the eye hole cutters. So I guess that's what we'll call them for now. And go into the modifiers, choose Boolean, choose your object, grab the eye dot, and then we click on the curved pieces and use them to cut a difference from the head shape. And after making them invisible, getting them out of the scene, you can see we have a nice cut through the helmet of where there's those curved shapes were. Goodness gracious. So now apply the modifier, the Boolean modifier, and we've got some disgusting edges now. Really nasty. But what we're going to do to clean those up is to go get another modifier called bevel. And you're going to turn the, the segments? You're going to turn your segments up, and it's going to clean the edges. Usually maybe go up about 6 steps, maybe more. But when it looks good, press apply. And now we're ready to go back into the whole shape and edit. Colors and textures and all that fun stuff. First though, most important step, join everything back together so that everything can move as one form again, but be separate for material application. So select everything and then select an active object and go to parent and object, and boom, you got all your pieces grouped together. Now, next, what part are we handling next? Let's work on some color so you can see the eye placement under the helmet. I have a shape under the helmet that's kind of the same shape, just edited, but I use it for just black for that dark space under the helmet. So I'm going to change that color just so I can see everything a little better. Change the roughness so you can see more like a deep, dark, void, depressing black. And one of the best things you're going to have in your toolkit is some like bags of materials. I bought this set of materials you're seeing me use from Ducky 3D. It's got some amazing materials that are real-time renders, and you can just apply them straight to your materials. Most of them sometimes don't even need UV unwrapping, which I'll show you later. But here's a nice metal that I chose out of his list. And I'm going to go to the corner and change this window to the shader editor so that I can continue editing this shade. Because that's kind of the best way to learn about materials, is to buy a pack of materials, apply them to stuff, and then open up the materials in the shade editor and mess with these nodes down here to figure out, the best look for your scene or your character, your object. And in that way, you'll just start to understand how nodes work more, and things will make more sense. And now that I have the metal in the right setting, I'm just going to go around to all the other things that I want to be the same material and just add the settings onto each one. And really, I'm going to do that for most of the entire object, or for the entire sculpt. It's just going to be applying shades, applying materials, editing them, seeing what I like more between different options, and then just applying to other like objects. So let's skip forward. Now for the rest of this scene, I have had a lot of audio issues and a lot of issues with syncing up instructions to my video. So I failed you all on this one, but I'm just going to talk over it and let you know a couple more things and then talk about compositing. Here I'm doing more of what I talked about in the beginning. I'm just choosing different textures through two sources, Blender Kit and real-time renders provided by 3D Ducky. I'll make sure to get a link in the description about that. I just love grabbing easy textures from both of those sources and then editing them in the nodes in the shader editor as needed to get them looking exactly like what I see in my noggin. And now I'm just setting up my plane so that I have a setting for my shoe, angling my camera, setting up my lights. I'll do a video later this week about point lights, sunlights, spotlights, and area lights and get you guys caught up on that. Here I'm checking my render, seeing if everything's looking good as I'm putting new settings in, and I'm getting ready to jump into compositing and talk about how I get the eyes in on the Chainsaw Man mask. This video has been half trash, but you know what? We're gonna power through it. We're all gonna get what we can from this. I'm gonna learn how to make better videos. You guys might get some useful information. So this next part is about compositing. What I've done is taken away the Chainsaw Man helmet and hid it from view so that I could work on the black object underneath it where we're going to put the eyes on. What you want to do first is grab yourself a image texture node and then attach on a mapping and texture coordinate node. I don't have time to tell you right now about Node Wrangler, but look it up, turn it on, makes it all a lot easier. Next, you're going to grab the image that you'll be using for your texture and put it into the image texture node. We're going to go over to UV rendering or UV editing, and we're going to take the same texture, put it in on the left side. I swear to God, I'll talk more about all this in detail next time. So what we're going to do next is on the right side of our window where we've got our shape, select the area where you want to put in your texture. And then on the right side, you see how I'm doing? You grab all of those vertices and those lines and you resize them, and boom. You just choose over on the left side where you want the verts and the faces set up, and on the right corresponding side you'll just see it match up. Now next we'll flip over to the other side. Take away the helmet again so we can fully see. Select the area. And then come back over to our left side screen. Resize all those faces and all those lines. Make it bigger, bigger, and then bow, we got another eye. UV editing gets a lot of people look at it like it's this huge complicated thing. It's very, very simple. And over the next week, I'll show you some more examples of how quick and easy it can be. But next, I need the eyes to glow. So what I want to do is take the information from the image texture node and drag it down to emission. And then we'll just blast that light up, turn it up way high. And now we've got a shiny, glowing eye. Add another color ramp, change the color of those points within it, and this is so that we can slide a lot more of the delete, 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 delete. So now that we have things look at a little proper, we're to save the file. After you've gotten yourself a render, we're going to go over to the compositing tab, slide down the timeline, get out of the way, and click on use nodes at the top left. And now let's space out these two nodes, the composite node and the rendered layer. You're going to want to bring up a view node, a viewer node, and then you're going to attach image to image on the viewer node and go shift right click, no, wrong one, shift right click and drag down to connect these two lines. Go to view on the right side tabs and click fit. And now shift A, we're going to bring up some new nodes. We're going to bring up the glare node, one of my favorites, but we're going to turn the streaks to fog glow and bring up the threshold to get a little bit of that light out of there. Maybe bring it back down, undecided. Turn it to high. Sniffing into the mic, gotta love it. Next node we're gonna bring up, one that helps with a lot of, come on, show me what node we're at, man. Helps with a lot of the look, lens distortion. You turn on projector and turn dispersion to about 0.2. It's going to give you a little bit of a chromatic abrasion look which just helps with the dimensionality of everything. Next, hue saturation value. One of the best nodes just for doing small tweaks on everything in your scene. I believe the last node we want to bring up is the brightness and contrast node. And we use that to add a little more contrast, which is always amazing, and a little more brightness. And then play around with these nodes just to get the right look for your final touch. And then after after adding all of these to your compositing tab, you're going to need to re-render to get the full effect on them to your final image. And here are my final images. I don't know what person out there could have made it this far through this crazy video that doesn't give great instruction, but it's better finished rather than perfect. I couldn't do perfect, so here's what we got. Hopefully you were able to get something from this. I swear on the next video, it's going to be way more informative and valuable for you. This was just a learning lesson. Had to get it out. Had a lot of problems along the way, but we'll cut those out as we keep moving. Thank you for viewing. Do not like this one. Dislike it because it's so shit, but I'll see you in the next video.